twende pwani. Wase wa kuongea Kiswahili sanifu versus us guys wa pale hivo. Yo mtaa inaitwaje? Nimesahau jina. Kuna ile lounge iko pale hivo RFUA. Nimesahau jina yake mazee. Yo place ya you guy my guy.
Orchid.
Orchid. But anyway, away from that. Queens versus South Coast Pirates. I think Queens are smarting. Buddha, ume lose 4 games on the bounce. That has to end now, and it ends against the South Coast Pirates. Hey, good people, how you doing? Welcome to a milestone episode of 254 Rugby. This is episode 25. Never in our wildest dreams did we think that we would be here on episode 25 of 254 Rugby, talking about the game from the Kenyan perspective, while also looking at regional and international rugby. And joining me, as always, is Walter Orange. Walter, how you doing? Yo, Walter. Unmute your mic.
Yes, Michael. Hi, how are you? Yes, it's been 25. Time has really gone by as fast as we never thought it would. Yeah, I'm really excited. 25. I can't believe we've done 25 already.
Yeah, you know what they say, keep going. Or there's that more popular phrase, ball mbele, even though you have to pass the ball backwards in rugby to move forward.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. So tell me, Michael, how have you been? How are you holding up?
Just holding up the best that I can. You know, it's one of those weeks, like you're saying, you just keep going. Things cannot always be perfect. So tunaskuma tu maisha. The game of rugby gives us a welcome distraction. Tunafurahia sana. It's good talking about the game both locally and internationally. Yeah.
Haukuenda Addis Ababa?
Addis Ababa sikuenda, mi nilikuwa advance party. I'd been there a few years ago. Ndo tuliwambia kuna mtu atakuja hapa kuwania kiti, but sasa hiyo kiti nyi ndio mtadecide venye kutaenda. Yeah, so mi nilikuwa nishaenda huko, so there's no need for me to go back again. You know, there are places you go once na inakuwa hivyo.
Yeah, all right. Well, sikufika Addis Ababa lakini tutafika. We will get there.
Yeah, true story. We shall. Now, you guys, there's no rugby this weekend in Uganda. As you're well aware, last weekend they lost an emerging star in Kayondo Roni, passed away, you know, as a result of an injury. And as always, we do mourn his passing. So they postponed their matches in his honor. He was actually given quite a good send off. They retired his shirt jersey. He used to his jersey number. He used to play for the Eagles. And that weekend he had played in their defeat to the Buffaloes. They lost by 21 points to 19. So from us here at 254 Rugby, as always, we do offer our condolences to Eagles Rugby Club, to the family of Kayondo Roni, and to the Ugandan rugby fraternity.
Yes, Michael, quite a sad way to lose one of rugby's sons. I mean, it's very tragic. It's one of those things that make you really question why you are in rugby. But then at the end of the day, it's something that I mean, retiring his jersey and just making sure that you honor the man as he was is something that Uganda have done quite so well. And I think we'll just wish that we let his soul rest in peace, and hopefully Uganda can be able to recover, and hopefully the family can also put to rest their son.
Yeah, now let's cross the oceans. Let's go to the southern hemisphere. You guys, this past weekend there was Super Rugby, and it kicked off with a series of matches. Here are the results from week one. the round one results. There we have them on the screen. I had purposed to watch these games, but you guy, time difference, uchovu, I missed out. So I just got the highlights and read the reports. A number, you guy, it was close on week one. In fact, the biggest margin of victory is the 11 points, the Chiefs defeating the Blues in a repeat of the final from last year. Everything else was close. Look at the 45-44 result. The win for the first Australian side to win in Fiji, beating the Drewers, that 32-36 result, 37-36, 33-25. You guy, did you catch the games? What do you have to say about week one of Super Rugby?
Yes, Michael, I caught a glimpse of the games this past weekend, and then first of all, let me say that it's a welcome relief that Super Rugby is back because Saturday mornings were really dull without some rugby here in these parts of the world. Not so good for you because the time zones are quite challenging. But it's a really good thing to wake up on a Saturday in the morning, watch some rugby, then head out for your respective teams' games on a Saturday. So I had a glimpse of these games. I watched the Cedars game. They came back from that one trailing at halftime. A good result. I mean, a statement result playing the Hurricanes. They were at home, so a lot was expected of them. Then I caught the Waratahs versus the Highlanders game. What a nail biter, 37-36. It was a high scoring game. You score, I score, you score, I score. So eventually they ran out of time, and that was the result. I mean, for the coaches, it must be very nerve wracking sitting there knowing that these games are quite open. You know, you're conceding tries and you're scoring tries. So the excitement is just continuous through and through. I'm also keen to watch the drawer. I also watched the drawer, Michael. And rightfully, as you said, this is the first game they lost at home. Quite a tough result there. Uh, I mean, they really had to for you to win at the draw. You you must have played your cards right. So quite a result there. The Western Force was this no, the Blues versus Chiefs game. Now this one, Michael, the defending champions, opening fixture, playing at home. The Chiefs were last year's finalists. They played the Blues and they lost to the Blues. I mean, it's this was a match. I didn't really see this result coming. I must be honest, but the Chiefs must be given credit for going to the Blues and ambushing the Blues, and winning away from home. Then the final result, Moana Pacifica, who were playing the Western Force, quite a result there for for these two sides. 45-44, Michael. You can see the difference in the quality of the sides. I mean, Super Rugby has just started with a bang, and everyone looks to be in the game. Really, we can't really say that there is a weak side on the opening rounds. Even though we have teams that have lost games, you can see the margins with which they've lost the games, and it promises to be a cracker.
Yeah, now let's just look at the standings after round one, and we can see them there. It's the Chiefs on top. Crusaders, then Brumbies in the top three positions. Definitely, it's going to change. Remember, there was a team that didn't play this weekend. They had a bye. This year's Super Rugby has 11 teams, and well, there will be a lot to look forward to on round two, which takes place this coming weekend. Here are the fixtures: Chiefs Crusaders, Reds versus Moana, Hurricanes versus Drua, Highlanders versus Blues, and then Brumbies versus the Force. Another weekend of high octane action. Buddha, hizo time differences in make bana, but I purpose to watch at least one game.
One game, yes, quite a fixture lineup, Michael. It's a pity you only have to watch one. The Chiefs versus Cedars, that's going to be a cracker because Chiefs have just won a very interesting game away to the Blues. They're playing at home. Cedars have also won the opening game. It's going to be a very interesting game. for the opening for the second weekend of the Super Rugby. We also have the Reds versus Moana Pacifica. Now, this one is an interesting one. I see this as a high scoring fixture. The Reds would definitely fancy the chances of beating the Moana Pacific at home. But remember, with the likes of Addis Ababa and company just looking to click into gear, it's going to take a really hard battle to beat this Moana Pacifica team. And also, Michael, I think there's something that happens when these teams converge, especially the oceanic teams. Sorry, the Islanders, the Moana Pacific and the Fijian draw. There's some sort of passion they play with. So on a good day, if they find you napping, my friend, you can really receive a good one. So and then there gonna be those days. Then the Hurricanes versus Drua. I see the Hurricanes looking quite strong, playing at home in front of their fans. The draw will bring the game forward, but I think the Hurricanes will be quite strong for that one. The Highlanders versus Blues. The Blues looking to bounce back. The Highlanders looking to, I mean, stake a claim in the New Zealand Conference. A very interesting fixture also, but I see the Blues winning that one just simply because I guess by week two they would have settled in and started looking at their structures. Then finally, the Brumbies versus the Force. The Brumbies playing at home. This is a game I definitely tip the Brumbies to not really comfortably win, but get a result playing against the Force.
Haya basi, that is it from the international scene. So acha tuingie mtaani, and there was local rugby that continued. Buda, KRU Championship, mambo inachacha moto, Buda. Eh? There was action, there was a double header at Katho, and Homeboys versus Moost, Catholic Monks versus Daystar. Moost staying unbeaten and top of the log, 24-18 against Homeboys. Then Daystar breaking Catholic Monks' unbeaten record, winning by 16 points to 15. Last gasp, because hey, that game I was following it online, and it was literally toe to toe stuff. Then the USIU Marshals defeating Mombasa 23-22. The Marshals doing that thing and looking to ensure their stay in the KRU Championship for another year. They've won two matches on the bounce. Zitek Oaks getting a 28-0 result over Western Bulls. Two Marines stopping UAE Trojans 17-5. And then Mean Machine defeated at home by the JKUAT Cougars 13-10. It's getting interesting. Remember, after round 9, there's still two more rounds of the regular season in the KRU Championship, and it's setting itself up for an exciting playoff season.
Yeah, it is a very exciting playoff season to be coming ahead. Now, Homeboys versus Moose was an interesting fixture this weekend because Homeboys are fresh from just dropping from the Kenya Cup league, and looking at their chances. This was a game I guess they fancied to win, but most looking quite strong, making sure that they continue with the winning streak. Catholic Monks, Daystar, uh, like you said, 15-16, toe to toe, one point at the end there. I mean, these are those kind of games, and this really shows you quality because Catholic Monks and Daystar, the two sides, Michael, that you'd really say they'd be up there challenging for that top two position for the standings, and also even laying a stake or a claim to winning the championship league. So quite a game there between Bosire and his counterpart on the other side, Isalambo. USIU Marshals and Mombasa. Now 23-22, USIU, Michael, they're doing that thing. They're just making sure they survive. You guys next year, I mean, we have to get tour, so they're doing what they know how to do best. They will probably rally each other for the last couple of games, and then comfortably, inshallah, and vibes afterwards, and then wait for next season. But it's fine. It's a result. They beat Mombasa 23-22. Another close encounter there in the Championship League. Zitek Oaks getting a comfortable 28 nil result. This means the Western Bulls did not make the trip to Nairobi. Well, that's just a walkover. It is what it is. Two Marines versus the UOE Trojans. Two Marines playing at home. UOE Trojans languishing bottom of the league. Seems like time is running out, and very few branches to cling on to as they look to fight for survival in the Championship League. Now, Min Machine versus Jquat Cougars. This is a game I really didn't see coming, this result, because they've expected Machine with their trajectory. They've really had a couple of good results in the last couple of games. So I really expected Min Machine to, win at home. But Jquat Cougars, who've also had a decent run for the last couple of games, they've played the Zetec Oaks twice and beaten them twice. They beat Homeboys a few weeks ago. They've had quite a decent run, but it continues. So it's really interesting. I don't know what the fixtures are this coming week. Michael, do you have the fixed
No, I
championship?
don't. I don't have them. We will look for them and share them on our social media pages during the week. But what I can say is that it's setting itself up for a great finish as we head into the playoffs. It's the intensity that the teams want as well. I think the playoffs are going to be competitive. But like I said, my sure bet to qualify for the Kenya Cup right now is Masinde Mliro. The others now, it's the lazima wa decide, but as it's looking now, they start looking to secure that home semi-final slot. But you see, once you get to those semis, boss, hapo hivyo sasa ni how bad do you want to be in the Kenya Cup?
Yeah, you're right. It's really how bad you want to be in the Kenya Cup League. So a lot to play for and a lot to look forward to, Michael, in terms of the Championship League. And interesting battle up there because that second home semi-final game should be a very important one, considering that you have teams like Homeboys, you have Quer, you have Beta Falcons, you have. I mean, it's quite a long list in terms of the guys who are looking forward to that position.
Haya sasa basi, twende ligi, so twende Kenya Cup. And it was an interesting weekend. I think we should get another phrase. Mazi kutumia interesting weekend kila time in a bow. Let's call it out for what it was.
And from
Um,
Mapanga,
ilikuwa weekend ya mapangale. I didn't see the KCB versus Nondi's result coming because I felt Nondi's have been a decent side. They're a banana peel, lazima ujichunge venye unatembea kama wako around, but KCB had other ideas. They went there 53-8. That is a big result because, like I said, Nondi's have been problematic. I didn't see that result coming. Cabras versus Queens 43-22. There's many ways to look at it. Remember that story I said of defense wins you matches, and remember venye tulikuwa tumebring up ile issue ya blood na KCB, venye KCB walishipin points in two fixtures between Cabras and Queens. Queens have scored 42 points. They lost in the Enterprise Cup, was it 41-20 or something thereabouts, and then losing 43-22. And you could talk about squad rotation and stuff like that, but your defense is a critical component, and at this point of the season you need to be tightening it up, especially looking at Cabras. Games ambazo zimebaki ni kuna mtu aliandika hapo social media ati games zimebaki ni Africa Union. Anyway, there's also Oilers versus Impala. That was a straightforward result, 56-3. I expected Impala to probably just give a bit more in terms of resistance. Mwamba, hey, these guys wameamua hawashuki. They defeated the Strathmore Leos 2010. Nakuru finally getting their first win of the season, 32-22. Na unajua kitu ilinichekesha na hiyo game, Walter. There's a day we just said it. I think we said it in passing, but it came to happen. In the lineup for Nakuru on the day, Philip Kwame alikuwa, Makori alikuwa, na msee wetu Mr. Tuesday alikuwa pia. It's that time to activate the guys. And they got the result. A bonus point for them, but Kisumu also getting a bonus point. And then the online derby, as it's being called. One you there, wali deal na waharamia wa South Coast, that game ending 50 points to 3. Yeah, that was Kenya Cup match day 8. So like I said, hiyo result ya KCB mi sikuwa nimeicheki ikiwa kubwa hivyo versus Nondis, and I think it's just what they need heading into their final 3 games. Na hizo games kuna Kisumu, Oilers na Kabras zimebaki hapo hivyo. Kabras on the other hand, yeah, Mwamba Mwamba doing everything they can to survive. Nakuru pia sasa itabidi, we talked about the games that they have and they've started picking up the wins, and then Black Blood chasing that final playoff slot.
Yeah, I've watched highlights, Michael, for the Kenya Cup weekend that was. I watched the Kenya Harlequins versus Cabras game that ended 22-43. A big thank you to XIX. By the way, Devi Mango has been doing the clips, and it's really good that we get to see such action. Now, I have an opinion about that Queens versus Cabras game. Queens just don't want to play rugby, Michael. They want to take 3 points all the time, even when they are trailing by big margins. I don't know if they just want to narrow down the scoreline or they want to win matches, because never during that compilation did I see Queens grind in front of Cabras's 5 meter or 22-meter area, just trying to pound their way through to the try line. The try they scored was a kick and chase by Leon Young, and that was it. The others were from the boot of the flyer for their kicker. So I thought they were really negative. Cabras came over, they were scoring pushover tries, they scored a 20-meter maul. I mean, they can look at their structures and say we are really clicking towards something. I thought Queens didn't really give a good account of themselves, and really that really sums up their season. We have KCB versus Nondes. Now, this one, Michael, I also didn't see it coming. But the question I always had was, how long were the Nondes forwards, going to stay in the fight? That was always going to be the question. To me,
Were,
and it
were
was
you at the
answered
game?
when. No. I didn't manage to make it because I was stuck at Arrow's game that Saturday. But I've seen the highlights. I mean, Node started strongly, but then the question was, are you going to stay in this fight? Are you going to be able to last long? Do you want it as long as we want it? Yes, you can play, you can run the ball, you have structures, but can you defend when we ask you the questions? Can you do that? We had the likes of Miheso running riot through the midfield. He's a prop, but he runs like he's a man possessed. KCB beat the hell out of Nondis. I mean, it was a
Hmm?
it was a pound.
It was an A dash 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 whooping, eh?
It was a pounding, Michael. I mean, that result. I want to tell you for a fact is a clear indication of where Nondis is. Let's not lie to ourselves. They might make the playoffs, but the best
They
they can
will.
do, I guess, is that.
It's
I don't know.
it's
Yes,
not they might, they will. Remember, 5 teams ziko already in the playoffs. In fact, JO story wacha niweke standings. So 5 teams already ziko kwa playoffs, eh? It's that sixth slot which is now contentious, because the number of points that have been accumulated by whatever, what do you call it? It seems I don't have the standings, but it's
I
okay.
just put the results back. Just put the results back. I need to go
Yeah,
down all the way to the bottom.
to the last result, yeah.
I have
So it's
sentiments for every game that was played.
saa, toa maoni yako, ongea ikutoke, because that is what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. That is 2-5-4 rugby. So yeah, this is now Oilers versus Impala. Impala didn't have a chance. Oilers maybe trying to flex, look at their systems, an easy pounding, and 56-3. I mean, Impala honored the fixture, Michael. That's the most important thing, and quite a result there for Oilers. Now, Mwamba versus Strathmore Leos. Mwamba have converged under the tree, or is it under the stone? And they've decided it's
Chini ya mti. But yeah, like you said, yeah. Chini ya mwamba.
chini ya mwamba, Michael. So
Yeah.
wamekutana hapo chini ya mwamba, wamedecide Leos hawatupigi. There's always that Madaraka rivalry that they used to have, that of Reru and Madaraka. I mean, with the then they used to. There was always that vibe when they would meet at their drinking zones. The players, I would see the passion between Mwamba versus Strathmore Leos. So I guess that continues. Leos ruining the chance that they couldn't play with their internationals, who helped them win the previous week. Remember, they beat Impala. They had Japolo and Nijo playing. This weekend they couldn't have the two, so they were under strength, I guess, against Mwamba. But I mean, Mwamba at least got a result, Michael. That's the most important thing. Now, Nakuru versus Kisumu. Watu walikuja first half, they were leading. I think Nakuru had to again ask themselves, why are we calling the old folk if kama tunapigwa hivi tena? They had to do another meeting at halftime to decide if the second half would decide the fate of their season, or I mean, you'd imagine that hurdle, Michael.
Yeah.
Imagine being around that circle, and guys are trailing and struggling in the first half, and then it's the half is hanging. This is what it means to play in Kenya Cup. You have a half to save your season. That is what Nakuru is. But na hii tabia ya ku depend on kina Oscar, itabidi wa get over it. By the way, at the end of the day, kuna siku kina Oscar hawatakuwa, wataita nani?
Yeah, unajua in fact hiyo story ya mkutano inanikumbusha, allow me to digress, inanikumbusha kuna time, the first time tumequalify Kenya Cup final tukiwa KCB, so we're playing against Queens, na siku hizo semi zilikuwa home and away, so tume lose first leg 9-8, tuna lead kwa second leg. Initially we were storming because we got into a big lead. We were leading 22-3. Then we started losing our heads. Then the veteran of the squad, Mark Andere, Dida, eventually became Shujaa team manager, someone I respect a lot. So he called us for a huddle because Queens scored penalties zikakuja mpaka ikakuja 22-15. He came and told us, my guys, you know what, turudi hapo tusahau mambo ya ref, turudi ka tumemaliza hii kazi. We went back and we got now the buffer because Queens were coming back and they were coming back strongly. Anyway, we went back, but yo mkutano ilikuwa vital sana. So unajua ukisemea story ya kujita kwa mkutano, it's relatable and it's also something that works because the coach can do so much, but now it's about you players, mnajiuliza yenyewe, my guys, hii haiwezi endelea. And like you were saying also with Mwamba, when they decided history ya Strath, alafu buda hatuwezi enda kucheza games za sijui saa ngapi huko kwa inaitwaje kwa championship, so yeah, there's that element as well.
And it actually brings me to the point of we need to get the fun, that raw footage of that hurdle. One of these fine days, we need to just get in there and get what the coaches say, and people understand what it means, and the passion, and what is at stake. And the players are human also. They also have that side of reaction, and that is what it's all about. So Michael, I look really forward to that. Now the final game, Kenyatta University versus South Coast Dragons. This one, and niliwaambia, you do not lose to newcomers in the league. That is one thing. They've always made it a point. The last time I tried that with Kisii, I had a strong side, by the way. Let me tell you my story, and let me also digress. Now, I came to Nairobi to play Black Flag. The referees were on strike. 2018, I guess. Guess who takes the referee whistle that weekend? One. Guess who?
Watu ni wengi bana, inaweza kuwa hata ni mimi ndio niliref, siwezi
Swear.
jua. Chwizi. But a big shout out to Vincent Chwea Waters. Anyway, continue.
So Chwea Waters takes charge. Chwea Waters is a former former black blood player. So they're not refereed, so he offers to ref that game. I can swear we matched black blood. We really played some good rugby. We matched them. Now, what Australia did at the breakdown, zao zinakuwa slower than ours. Yetu ukikaa tu 1 second ametoa mkono, Levi Amunga amechukua tatu, zetu wakifika kwetu anakataa. Na we had a long day, Michael. But I came to learn that the truth is, one, you they can't lose at home, and again playing at a promoted side. So a very good result for them. At least they're back on track. South Coast. It's really looking bad for them because they are down at the bottom of the league. They are staring at dropping down to the championship league.
We
This is
finally
simple.
have the standings.
Now let's have a look at that. As I was speaking, South Coast Pirates, if you can have a look at number 11, and Nakuru, who are at the bottom two. That's 8-5. Seems like we still have quite a battle down there, Michael. Mwamba, just that wing edging them just slightly above the relegation zone. But still, Navi days to come for Mwamba FC. Strathmore Leos also not looking as good as they should. Playing at number 9 and having 10 points. Quite an interesting battle down there, Michael. The point difference is really small between number 7 and number 12. Michael, anyone can drop down, anyone can stay alive from that list from number 7 to number 12. KU, I guess, just that 16 point, that mark should be one that should be able to really keep them. They're in the playoffs, as it seems, unless barring a calamity in the last couple of games. Kenya Harlequins going winless once again, traveling this weekend to South Coast, so they should be able to go battle down with Maharamia. Waone kama wanaweza waharamia wachukue points. I've seen the battle on the socials has already begun for South Coast Pirates. Now, Nondis, they licked their wounds from last weekend, Michael, but truth be told, Nondis are already in the playoffs, just looking to sharpen for that quarterfinal playoff match. Then we have the Menengai Oilers, who are tied with KCB and and Cabras in that 1, 2, 3 position. Except for the point difference, the Menengai Oilers just sit outside that bracket. We're going into a very interesting round. Two of the top sides are going to be meeting this weekend. I guess that is KCB and the Menengai Oilers.
Yeah, in fact, that's the game of
And
the
that
weekend.
yeah, that's the game of the weekend. So should be a very, very good game. I'm happy I'm going to be playing. Rugby on the Road is going to be playing Northern Suburb Cubs. I'm hoping that the Northern Suburb Cubs can actually request us to play at the Den Alley. Then we can be able to watch that game. So I'll be able to at least catch a glimpse of my first Kenya Cup game, that KCB versus Oilers match.
But you guys, there's malaria all around. If you look at the first 3 fixtures, Impala Mwamba, Strathmore versus Nakuru, Kisumu versus Blood. Now look at it. Last year when Blood went to Kisumu, that game, there was a lot of contention. I don't think it ended, I can't remember, but it was contentious. I think there was a disputed officials call. I remember Blood were awarded the points, Kisumu was sanctioned, but it doesn't take away the fact that Kisumu versus Blood is a feisty fixture. It is Sude versus Yude, you know. And then away from that, Kisumu, if they pull off the result, suddenly they can find themselves knocking on the door of the playoffs. It's pretty much touch and go for Blood as well. Like you said, we looked at their points and they know what they need to do, but they have to navigate that feisty atmosphere in what do you call this place in Kisumu. And then now Strathmore Leos versus Nakuru. Strath need to show up because Nakuru, and first of all, congratulations to Nakuru. In the past week, they secured sponsorship from Smart Applications. Which is good. I looked at the sponsorship launch and the plans that they have, and it's good that they are attracting that corporate support, and it definitely boosted their morale in their fixture against Kisumu. They'll be looking for more of the same against the Strathmore Leos in Nairobi. And this Nakuru side right now is quite dangerous. They know what they have to do. They don't want to break 18 years of uninterrupted existence in the Kenya Cup. Impala versus Mwamba. Hey, yani, there's games all around that are good to watch for various reasons. Again, a fight for survival, and everybody will come out there hammer and tongs. Mwamba will be looking for that third win just to put that buffer between them and the relegation zone. Impala will be out to stop the slide, and they'll be playing at home. Iko mechi hapo. In fact, as it's looking, South Coast Pirates versus Queens. It's one of those games. It's good. It's a novelty issue and all. Queens have lost 4 games on the bounce. You guy on your coast. Me, this is it. Nothing against the Pirates. Queens wanaenda kuwatolea hasira. Hawezi lose 4 games on the bounce alafu saa mpate Pirates pia. Hii game wakilose usitake kusikia venye Pau ataongea. Pau na quotes zake usitake kusikia. So they have to win this game. Cabras versus Nondis in Kakamega. Straightforward. That one is Cabras expecting the win. Now, the match of the round. This is where the rubber now meets the road. KCB versus Oilers. I think we are setting ourselves up for an exciting fixture. Could go either way at this point in time. KCB have the home ground advantage. But remember, Oilers in 2022 ended KCB's reign as Kenya Cup champions. Where? At the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka. I remember doing commentary on that game. It was live on TV. Much as my heart was with KCB, I'm telling you, it was. You stay professional, but deep down unasikia roho maze, roho aina raha. Yeah, that was it. Now, good matches all around.
Yeah, definitely good matches. Impala Mwamba, crack of a match. Uh, Louis this year is not around. However, I know his charges would be ready to take on his former side in Mwamba. So I'd give Impala this one just simply because they're at home, but it's going to be a battle. This one is going to decide who's going to be pulled into that relegation corner once again. Mwamba fighting for survival. It's a club with tradition. It's a club with heritage. It's Impala bounced back up. It's the stakes are really high for both those sides. Strathmore Leos, Nakuru. Leos are playing at home. Nakuru are a resurging side. I don't really want to think that Nakuru would think that this is an easy game. Simply because their away form does not really tell so much about them. This season they've lost quite a number of games. They've played away. I know they won last weekend, but it's still early days to say that Nakuru have turned the corner, and they should be wary of a Strathmore Leos side. I know Strathmore Leos are a strong side, and they know they can take on Nakuru. And remember, Michael, even with the guys who are coming back, the likes of Oma and you can't play 80 for the next 5 6 games. You also have to manage your workload and injuries. You're coming back. You it's matches. Nakuru really need to step up, and it's fight for yourself, for your survival. There's really nothing that is going to be handed over to them. Then we have Kisumu and Black Blood. Now this one, I remember Cap walked away from the pitch because Kina Ondieki could not control their fans.
Bwana, you're naming names, bwana. You're naming names, bwana. Do you know a lawyer? Me, the bwana.
No, I don't have a lawyer.
Anyway,
A shout out to my
Ondieki,
good friend Ondieki.
yeah, tunasalimia Ondieki na
Mm.
Jcox na
So,
wengine.
Kisumu would definitely want to. This is a game Kisumu see that they can win, and this is a battle, Michael. This is now Kenya Cup survival battles. This is a genuine battle. wachana na hii ya South Coast na Queens. Tuko na genuine battle ya mwenye atashinda hii game nyewe ni mwanaume, because there is that underlying rivalry. There's also the fact that I think Kisumu feel like Kenyatta University is either their age mate or they could be higher than them. Omera bwana, you will not tell us. The others are calling themselves one you there, so we need to confirm who's who, and and one you there is a Luo phrase, Kisumu is a Luo county, and you see,
It's a
you'd
European
expect. I
county
mean,
bwana. It's a European county.
yeah,
Wewe wacha bwana.
yeah. So it has a boiling intensity that you'd expect from a Kenya Cup booster. Then we have South Coast and Queens. Queens should take the fight to South Coast. By the way, those guys playing at home is not a joke. You have to. Cabras first half initial 0-0. Do you know that, Michael? When they
Yeah,
played Cabras in
yeah,
Punda.
yeah.
So
Because huko
you have to be.
you're at sea level kabisa.
Yeah. You have to last in that fight. They are very good in terms of their set piece. They really trust their scrum, so you'd expect them to go at Queens at scrum time. And I also know that they play very well at home, because there are some of those players who sometimes maybe don't travel for away fixtures because of work and job commitments, but playing at home they have their full squad. So Queens have to be aware of that threat. Queens do not have a problem. They've managed to start a stake in that playoff position. So this is a game. There's also a bit of lethargic approach when you go to Mombasa for up-country teams. You feel like you're going there to breeze and go to the ocean and all that. So they have to be focused. The South Coast will lay an ambush. Mimi najua wale watu si wazuri sana. They're laying an ambush, Michael. So it's important. Now,
Mtego.
Cabral Sugar versus Nondis. It's really unfortunate for Nondis. Second weekend, they're being dealt with by the big boys. It's going to be straight running. Michael, there is no secret. It is straight running. If you can handle the intensity for 80 minutes, then you have a result. And that is it. There's nothing going to be handed to anyone here. So Cabras, Nondis is going to be a battle, but I think Cabras is going to be a bit stronger in that regard. Should be a comfortable win for them. KCB versus Oilers. I looked at KCB as they beat the hell out of Nondis. I've looked at how they're scoring tries. I've not seen a maul try. I've not seen a pushover scrum. Scrum try. I've not seen. They seem to have individuals who are breaking the line, scoring. They have there's that individual brilliance. Now, they have shining lights in the likes of former Oilers players Miheso and Kutua, who are in very good form.
Also Tyson Minor.
Oilers, yes, Tyson Minor too. Oilers, on the other hand, are becoming a very methodical side. They they will. It's time we see if they've matured, Michael. These are those games that really tell us where Oilers is, and Oilers will stop playing third fiddle to the likes of KCB and Cabras for the longest time. It's time they stood up. They've done a bit of shopping. They've managed to bolster their squads. Much as they've lost some of the players, they've I mean, you can still see that there's something within Oilers, that there's a bit of an improvement this season. I know they lost Ibrahim Ayo to a red card and a sanction of around 6 games. He's been very instrumental. I don't know if that is going to pull them back, but I hope the squad depth in the Menengai Oilers is going to be able to push them and propel them. This is a very tough game. KCB looking flashy. They're looking very entertaining. They'll be playing in front of their fans. I think I'll give this one to KCB, and it's going to be a big victory for KCB.
Okay, now, Ju Mesema, you'll give that one to KCB. I think let's just now go from the top. Each match, let's compare our takes in terms of who do you think is gonna win. So I'll go first and I'll start Impala Mwamba. I'm gonna give it to Mwamba, and my justification is in the fact that from number 7 onwards, looking at the squad that Malcolm Sheila fielded last weekend, they have, I think, a lot more experienced personnel. George Omola, Steven Sikuta, Xavier Kipngetich, former Impala player, Charles Kuka, Daniel Tabu, Ishmael Mokai, another former Impala player, Joel Inzuga, Brian Mutugi, and Brian Ayimba. I think that backline is lethal enough to cause problems for Impala, and therefore I'm giving that game to Mwamba. The result I don't know, but I'm confident of a Mwamba winning that one.
I will go with Impala. I strongly feel that they have what it takes to play Mwamba. They might be struggling against the big boys, but Mwamba is a battle. They're playing at home. Um, they should get a result against Mwamba.
Okay, Strath versus Nakuru. Now, again, sentiment for me goes with Nakuru. I think they are on a high from the win against Kisumu. And then that quality and experience. I mean, when you have the likes of Felix Okoth, um, Philip Okeo, Oscar Ouma, of course. I think between those three, there's a lot more that they bring against a Strathmore side who will clearly be lacking the leadership and exposure, not experience really, but exposure of both Nigel Amaitsa and George Oro. So Anakuru win for me.
Um, I will give Nakuru this one just simply because the Leos are not looking in a strong shape. But like I said, Leos have. I mean, Nakuru have to earn it, Michael. It's going to be a battle and a very good game for the fans to watch.
Okay, one Youth versus Sude. Kisumu versus Black Blood. Wow, this game, Kisumu are playing at home. Black Blood, the travel, I think, is going to play into a lot. It's going to have a factor. Looking at Kisumu, I see them nicking the win over Black Blood. Could be a close result.
This one I am going with one you there. One you they do not lose to promoted sides. Michael, you need to really
But
keep
Kisu,
that in mind.
but Kisumu are not promoted. Remember, they survived last season, so this their second season.
It's, the potato. They still rank lower than one you there. No offense to Kisumu, one of my beloved sides, but I think KU would rally around the result from last weekend and should get a result in Kisumu.
Si twende pwani. Wase wa kuongea Kiswahili sanifu versus us guys wa pale hivo. Yo mtaa inaitwaje? Nimesahau jina. Kuna ile lounge iko pale hivo RFUA. Nimesahau jina yake mazee. Yo place ya you guy my guy. Hmm?
Orchid,
Orchid.
Orchid.
But anyway, away from that, Queens versus South Coast Pirates. I think Queens are smarting. Buddha, ume lose 4 games on the bounce. That has to end now, and it ends against the South Coast Pirates.
Yeah, they really have to work hard against the South Coast Pirates. But a strong squad. I know Pau should be interested in this fixture. I guess Queens would get a result just simply because they're quite strong. But also dependent on how they play. They need to take this battle to the South Coast Pirates as early as possible. Silence the home crowd and get going with their business of unlocking the defense. So I see a Queen's victory away to the South Coast Pirates.
Aya, Cabras Sugar wako home, wanacheza na Nondis. Cabras Sugar for this one. And you know, for Nondis,
Yeah,
you have to feel for them because walianza na Oilers. By the way, walisumbua Oilers. Your game ilikuwa ilisha I think 33-25 or something thereabouts. Waliwasumbua, but by the time walikuwa na meet KCB, they had emptied their tank. Sasa wakicheza na Kabras, alafu tena hiyo story ya kutravel, that trip from Nairobi to Kakamega, um, it takes a lot out of you. And then you're going to meet Cabras, who are at home. This is a team that trains literally every day, twice a day. A win for Cabras, comprehensive for that matter.
Yeah, tough few days for Nondis, but for you to win Kenya Cup, I mean, you have to win such games. And you've mentioned the game they played versus Oilers a few weeks ago, and from that result, I really saw a struggling Oilers side. Oilers actually rallied in the second half, and that really, when you weigh the top sides and try and look at head to head, that's why my thoughts would always be on this week's KCB versus Oilers, that KCB should get a very big victory against the Menengai Oilers. But however, Cabral Sugar versus Nondis, I don't see it going to the Nondis side. I think Cabral should get a result.
Okay, and now the last match on the cards on match day 9, KCB versus Oilers. Looking at KCB, they have stepped up when they've been called upon. Remember, I go back to the game against Black Blood when they shipped in 22 points. They won that game 33-22. But the response since then has been effective. Expect a lot more of the same when they take on the Oilers. And a win for KCB, a comfortable win for that match.
Yeah, comfortable win for KCB. I'm interested to look at how Oilers handle this, because this really would tell us if they have any chances as we head into the playoffs this year's Kenya Cup playoffs. So quite a tough one, but I mean, they have to play such games. They have to win such games for them to lay claim of being the Kenya Cup champions.
Yes, now let's talk about sevens. And late last week, the Shujaa squad to the fourth round of the World Rugby Seven Series, taking place in Vancouver, Canada, was released to the public. And there are two notable inclusions. Jackson Siketa, Kenya Under 20 International, instrumental in helping Chipu win the Rugby Africa Under 20 competition last year in Zimbabwe, drafted into the squad. And then Jone Kubu, a long overdue call up in some quarters for him to the Kenya Sevens squad. Your take on the inclusion of these two guys, and then, of course, the rest of the squad. We don't have it, therefore, we'll read it off our phones.
Yeah, Siketa is one of those success stories. He's played his rugby at Koyonzo. He was very good and very instrumental for Koyonzo, and this is that trajectory we would expect in sports, Michael. He played very well for Cabra Sugar last season in the seventh circuit. Good with the kicks, very good in the open play. He's quite fast. He finishes. He converts. He's just really a special player to have in your setup. And I guess his hard work has really earned him a slot. Uh, an opportunity to play for Kenya Sevens is a very big opportunity, and he's done so well, Michael, over the last couple of years. We also have Jone Kubu, who finally gets a shot at playing international sevens rugby with the Kenya Sevens team. Um, I guess we've I don't know if we've caught Jone Kubo at his best, Michael, but we've always salivated about the prospect of having Jone Kubo in that Kenya Sevens setup, and just hoping to see how he settles in well. And kids watching out there, Jone Kubo is 36 years of age, and has made his team call up to the national team at that age. So it means that your dreams are not shattered. If you really want to make it out there, you can make it. You can actually play for Kenya at age 36. So it's really important for us to have a look at him. Hopefully, we get to milk maybe 1, 2, 3 seasons out of him. Then see where we can be able to land. But I'll be interested to watch how he plays in Vancouver. As you mentioned, the others, I know the likes of Vincent Onyala ha- hasn't settled back well, but he's looking to settle back. We have Kevin Wekesa from Gabras. He's been very instrumental, doing very well. We have Dennis Abukute. I was hoping Dennis would also hit form because we really need Dennis to be the shining light that he is. Because remember, he's our gem, the product, the gem sevens player from our local seven circuit, and it's important that he gets to hit those strides and the heights of sevens game. We also have Patrick Odongo, very important player to that setup, finishes very well. We have Nigel Amaita, very good player who's cut out plays for himself in that national side. I mean, he's one of those players that whenever the coach is naming his team, you definitely, unless he is injured, Nijo has been a loyal servant. We have Japolo, who's hitting strides. I'm also interested to see how George develops as a loose forward, Michael, because it's important that we get to harvest entirely what he is all about. So I'm looking forward to Vancouver, Michael. Then we have Floyd Wabwire, who's also a speedster and very important player in that setup. We have Tony Omondi, Samuel Asati. I mean, the list has the superstars. And I think this is one of those sides, Michael, that you look up and you say, the coach has done. I mean, he's battled the ninth, eighth positions. He's decided now to throw the dice and I mean, tweak something and see what the result. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, well, I think also, it's quite an exciting selection if you ask me, and the reason being the inclusion of more creative players in Siketa and Jone Kubu. And you can see the intent here is probably to not necessarily win in Vancouver, but get a result that pushes Shujaa probably into position 7 and a strong position 7. Because I do recall in one of his engagements with the press after returning from Perth, Kevin Wambua actually said they're targeting Great Britain. And if you look at the standings, I do believe that it's Great Britain who stand in the way of Shujaa. And getting that kind of result is important, and that's why you need to get players who are able to turn advantage into points, because we did see this happening in what you call it, in Perth. Shujaa actually played very well. They asked questions of the opponents, and the opponents were not easy. There was New Zealand, there was Fiji, there was Uruguay, and they were not embarrassed at all. In fact, even when it came down to the ninth place final, it was unfortunate that Floyd Wabwire didn't ground the ball. That would have changed the outcome of that game, would have gotten them the ninth place and probably more points. And you can see the intention here. They probably know what is working, and they are now preparing to launch themselves for final thrust at securing the status on the World Series for another year, and that means getting the best at your disposal. So if it is Jone Kubu, well and good. If it's Jackson Siketa, well and good. And like you, I'm equally interested in seeing how the team will play. I'm equally interested in seeing Jone Kubu finally make his appearance for Shujaa in the sevens. Just hoping that he keeps to the focus, and we all know how he's quite the character. He's mercurial, for lack of a better word, and that means that he keeps the focus, doesn't get into any problems, more so from the disciplinary side, and shows us what he can do in terms of unlocking the opponent's defenses. Yo, Walter, you still
Yes,
there?
yeah, I'm here. So I mean, looking at Siketa, he gives me some vibe about how how to develop into a superstar. You know, but that guy who starts from the village and his trajectory is just meteoric. It's the curve is top as he goes up. I think Siketa is one of those special boys that, looking at how he's been able to play and given a chance at the national seven side, now going into Vancouver, I think Siketa looked like a future star, realistic future star. What do you have to say about him?
Yeah, I recall him playing at the Rugby Africa Under 20 Championship. And like you said, he's one of those guys, apart from just his kicking ability, the fact that he's able to slice open defenses and he has this very uncanny way of running. Reminds me of Darwin Mukidza, languid running style, but he's slicing through defenses and he has the vision to know when to take the gap, which I think is also good in terms of his development because we had gotten to a place where we had players in space but attacking the man instead of space. So having this kind of player like Jackson Siketa, expressing himself that way, there is a stage and opportunity for him to express himself, and that is the World Rugby 7 Series. It is his oyster. Let him go out there and enjoy himself.
Yeah, yeah, that should be a very interesting one. Now, the fixtures, Michael. Guess the guy we didn't talk about was Mwanji. He's Ntanga. I think they're those backups like Mwanji, William Mwanji. He reminds me of Bush Mwale. I mean, just there. You will, you will. He's a
A
reliable
workhorse.
fella.
He's a
Yes,
workhorse,
yeah, when you need him, he'll stand up and just a gentleman of the game and a very good sevens player. I really enjoy watching William Manji play. Brian Tanga has retained his position. I guess the experience within the player himself is what the coach has basically gone with. This is a solid squad, Michael. I guess we just have to see if we have developed it. It's interesting to also see if Kenya Sevens are a team that develop each tournament after another. We need to see if there's any growth, and those mistakes. If we've cut out those errors that I mean, bogging us down. It's interesting to see how we head into Vancouver. Now we play Argentina. Michael, this is a tough one. We also play Shujaa, play France in the second one, and then we play Great Britain, who we are directly competing against. Ideally, if the tournament format is that of ranking, we need to get the points, and Great Britain should be a target and should be a fierce battle between Kenya versus the Great Britain side. Shujaa versus France. You'd fancy Shujaa going up against France. You'd fancy Shujaa going up against Argentina. They should really put up a fight against those two sides. And those are the games we really have to start winning for us to be able to have that realistic chance of competing with Great Britain for that eighth position. So actually, it's the seventh position. So it's important for us to keep fighting, and should be a good weekend. I think the boys, that's a decent squad. They're well remunerated. Their contracts are sorted. They have a stadium full of fans who are backing them. Everything really is falling in place in terms of Kenya Sevens, and we are really looking forward to positive results from the national side.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just looking at the fixtures from my perspective, when you talked about Argentina and France, I look at it this way: Argentina is an upgrade on Uruguay, whom we've played against, and it's pretty much toe to toe between Kenya and Uruguay in terms of fixtures because Uruguay neighbors Argentina, and these people do a lot together in terms of the rugby development. So I think Shujaa will be familiar with the game that Argentina bring. I think it's more a matter of how they sustain the pressure from the Argentines and also their composure, their mental frame heading into that game because Argentina are the defending series champions, but that really doesn't matter. This is a team that Shujaa has beaten before, and they can pull it off again. So tough fixture that we expect there against France, the Olympic champions for that matter, and even with the loss of Antoine Dupont returning to 15s rugby, they are still putting up strong performances. But like you said, these are teams that Shujaa in its current shape and form are capable of going toe to toe with, and they will be relishing the opportunity to pull off an upset. Now Great Britain, like you said, there's that one team that you say that this one we are definitely going down with, and at this point in time it is Great Britain. So when they get them, and we did see Shujaa deal with them, was it in Cape Town, when they dealt with
Yeah,
them comprehensively. Obviously
it
you're
was
only as yeah,
Dubai.
yeah, it was in Dubai, but remember there's also that saying that you're only as good as your last game. That obviously is water under the bridge. It's another opportunity for Shujaa to maintain their recent streak against Great Britain. They will be relishing that, but again, your mental frame must come into play. You need not to be overconfident. You need to be aware that they have obviously stepped up, and will be looking to stop that result from happening again. And it's really up to you to take the challenge to them. So that's how I look at it. So wishing Shujaa all the best as they step out onto the turf in Vancouver, and to the Kenyan fans who support the team around the world. As always, just keep turning up for the team. The guys did well in Perth. Kenya Corner was actually something that got event organizers talking, got social media a buzz, and we do expect to see more of the same in subsequent legs of the series.
Yes, Michael. Speaking of Kenya Corner, uh, I think I need to send a message to the fan base of Kenya. You guys are really fantastic. Kenya Sevens is your team. They play across the world, but most importantly, they play at home too. I need you guys to start booking your tickets for Safari Sevens, because that is the premier Sevens tournament, and that is the home of Kenya Sevens. So
Oh yeah,
we
yeah,
need you
yeah.
guys. I mean, what's the challenge? What holds you guys back from making the trip to your motherland, watching Safari Sevens, visiting the park, and visiting your homes and visiting your folks, and then traveling back? So we are challenging, and we are really imploring Kenya Sevens, who are our brand ambassadors, out there, to always make sure that they are able to market their brand. Kenya Sevens is the Safari Sevens is really theirs. It's not. It's their platform. It's where the Kenyan public gets to watch Kenya Sevens, because over the 12 months, the Kenya Sevens team is traveling across the globe, representing Kenya, and trying to battle the world. So I'm really looking forward to Safari Sevens, where we have international audience, and we have the local fans merging, and forming a great carnival atmosphere as we head into other rugby sevens activities. So very important. You make your way to Vancouver, support the Kenya Sevens team, and I wish the guys all the best out there, Michael. You're closer there. If you can catch a train, or is it a flight, make your
Hapa
way
ni
to
basi
Vancouver, man.
tu, hapa ni basi tu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fika Vancouver. Hii maisha itabidi uishi kidogo.
Tutaishi bana, tutaishi. So that's it. Oh, by the way, the dates for Safari Sevens were announced. It's 11th and 12th of October in Nairobi. We'll know the actual venue, and then also as we come to an end, dates za Seven Circuit pia zimetoka, and nimeona KRU wameinvite bid ya ile leg ilikuwa ya Kakamega. I'm just going to quickly look for those legs, just to at least
Speaking of that, Michael,
yeah. So hiyo leg
I'm
ingebaki tu
impressed.
Kakamega.
Ni swali nijibu kama wako na, I mean, they can bid for it again.
Me,
It's open for everyone. You need to
it's a
show that.
comment.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, it's a comment.
We're
Yeah.
also imploring a joint bid between Homa Bay and Kisii County. So we have it 2 years. 1 year it's played in Homa Bay, The other year it's played in Kisii. So we're also looking at that. I don't know what other bids are coming in, but it's good to see that we can be able to open up other rugby destinations with the local seven circuit.
Yeah. Oh, so the dates are for the seventh circuit, 26th and 27th July, Driftwood Sevens in Mombasa. Then a week later, 2nd and 3rd of August, Prince Lu Sevens in Nakuru. Then 16th and 17th of August, that's after a week's break, we'll have the Christie Sevens in Nairobi. Then on the 23rd and 24th of August is the leg that is yet to be confirmed right now. Then 6th and 7th of September is the Kabeberi Sevens. And then on the 13th and 14th of September, it's the leg in Kenya's cleanest city. Do I need to say more?
No. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah,
You've said it all.
yeah, Dala Sevens.
So we are
Ilibidi tu
looking forward
niseme.
to the local.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, we've implored fans to come for Safari Sevens, but also locally, just go out there, support your team, show them all the support you can. If you can't get their merchandise where it's available, pay your tickets at the gate, guys. These clubs depend on you, bana. Yeah, that's my parting shot. This has been episode 25 of 254 Rugby. Walter Maze, tumejikaza na hizi manini. Let's give ourselves a pat on the shoulders for that, you know?
Really. We've done well. Guys, thank you so much for always keeping us company. Do like, do subscribe, do share our content. We're always looking to educate you, keep you abreast matters local and international rugby. We might not be that person or that guy, but we are soon becoming that trusted plug of anything that you want to know about our local and international rugby. My name is Walter Orangi, and as always, it's a pleasure being on the 254 Rugby.
And my name is Kwambo Yule Mfamous. Tuonane baadaye.
My bad, man.